Ever since Apple introduced the iPad Pro, the company has been really ambitious about having people replacing their laptops with one, and it has even made accessories like the Apple Pencil and an overpriced keyboard cover just for this tablet. Enter the second generation iPad Pro. It has a new screen size and has a lot of upgrades internally. Can it finally replace a laptop? I'm Warren with KLGadgetTV. Let's find out. One of the greatest things about owning an iPad is how well it serves as a media consumption device. And despite the declining demand of tablets, Apple is just making things a lot better on the second generation iPad Pro. The introduction of the new 10.5-inch form factor is a great thing for those who want an upgrade from the 9.7-inch model but don't want the oversized 12.9-inch model. The iPad Pro 10.5 weighs 477 grams and measures 7.1 millimeters. It's a little heavier than the 9.7-inch model, but maintains the same thickness. One thing you will notice is the reduced bezels, which gives it a better screen-to-body ratio, and hence, it is a very manageable device when held single-handedly, even though it has a lengthy and wide body. The home button is still a physical hardware with a faster fingerprint sensor from the iPhone 6s. A high-quality display panel contributes to a great tablet experience. Hence, the iPad Pro 10.5 is fitted with one that is even better than the company's MacBooks. It sports a 120Hz refresh rate and covers the P3 color space. Apple calls this the Pro Motion Display. It not only makes animations and transitions a lot smoother, you will also find drawing on the screen with the Apple Pencil more responsive. Though most apps and games have not been updated to take advantage of the refresh rate at this point of time, it is undeniably the best display you will find on a tablet. Like its predecessor, the iPad Pro 10.5 has a 4-speaker system that sounds extremely loud and clear while producing a decent amount of bass, which further complements the media experience on the device. My iPad Pro 10.5 is the Wi-Fi cellular model, and it comes with an eSIM that lets you connect to cellular networks even without a SIM card. Though the roaming rates are quite expensive, it is pretty useful if you don't have access to a SIM card when traveling abroad. With iOS 11 and a larger display, the iPad Pro is finally a usable tablet for work. I like that I can now finally have apps launched side by side, select multiple items with multi-touch, drag and drop content into emails and documents, and the soft keyboard now feels a lot better to type on, with easily accessible shortcuts and features. Despite the improved software experience, there are things that the iPad Pro still can compete with a laptop, such as performing a file transfer from an external storage. The dedicated Files app isn't able to access external storage like you do on macOS and Windows. Using multi-touch gestures to select stuff is fun, but it isn't as fast as using a laptop's trackpad. I've tried using the iPad Pro for publishing stories, and the process to resize images and applying watermarks on them is truly a painful experience. It also results in duplicated photos, which I eventually have to clear them up after uploading to the site. Otherwise, the iPad Pro 10.5 is an exceptionally powerful tablet that aces in app launch speeds and graphics performance, all thanks to the A10X Fusion chip. If you think taking photos with a tablet is ridiculous, Apple doesn't think so, because the iPad Pro 10.5 has the same optical stabilized 12-megapixel camera from the iPhone 7, which you can totally use it as a road trip camera if you want to. And things get even better, as it can also shoot 4K videos at 30 frames per second. You can expect the same picture quality as the iPhone 7, which has pretty natural color reproduction and great detail. If you love to take selfies on a tablet, the iPad Pro also has that covered with a 7-megapixel camera. It does feel like Apple also wants the iPad Pro to replace your smartphone camera. Well, I did actually take advantage of the camera when I'm working on event stories on the iPad Pro. I know it looks stupid, but it really saves effort importing photos from an SD card. Unlike the iPhone, the iPad has never lagged behind Android tablets when it comes to hardware and software innovation. The second generation iPad Pro and iOS 11 has just raised the bar of tablets once again with the combination of impressive hardware and functional software. But as I said, it is still far from being a laptop replacement for what it is capable of. In addition, the iPad Pro 10.5 starting price is so expensive that it might probably still make sense to purchase a MacBook or Windows laptop for work purposes. And that price doesn't include the Apple Pencil and keyboard cover, which will cost you an extra 1,148 ringgit if you want to complete the experience. If money is no object and you want a powerful tablet with a great camera and display, by all means, buy the 2nd gen iPad Pro. Otherwise, go for the cheaper 9.7-inch iPad, which will perform just as well with the same great operating system.